Well, hi everybody again. I just wanted to say the pictures on the front of this video, I was taken this week in Africa. My daughter's been sending them to me on my, anyway, she's been texting them to me. She's over in Africa on some medical stuff, helping with some hospitals and stuff, and they got to go on a safari. So anyway, they're kind of interesting. So I thought you might enjoy them. Just to, like I do with the kids. Well, hi everybody. How you doing tonight? Uh, I've been asking God to help take the lead out of my ass, and all the attention I got this week because of that wonderful man named Sterling kind of made me, because I've been doing some readings, and I want to thank Sterling so much for giving me the shout out on his channel and the nice thing he said, and I hope everybody's been satisfied that I've read for it. They appear to be. And I just want to thank him for being so kind and let him know how much it helped. And something else, I had several people wanting readings. I mean, I've been doing readings every day, but I was going to spend today going through and getting back to the people I hadn't gotten to, and I think there was quite a few of them, quite a few. And last night I was clearing out my computer and I erased all my email again. I'll just say it's because I'm 80, and I'm not elect. Every time I do that, I swear it down. I'll never do it again. And about once every 4 or 5 months, I do it. But so if you have emailed me, and that's lintarotreadings@gmail.com, lintarotreadings@gmail.com. If you have emailed me and I have not got back to you, it's because your email was in the ones I lost, and I feel so bad about that. But I'm not going to beat myself up for it. Like I said, it is what it is, and we are where we are, and that's okay. But I want to thank everybody that all my new subscribers. I just truly amazed at all the beautiful comments I got from them, and I was also amazed at how many people had never watched my channel that watched it this week. So I want to thank them, and I just want to thank Sterling again, and that's it. I guess as far as announcements, if you send me an email, put your phone number in there, and it makes it so much easier because I can get right back to you and set you up with an appointment, text you back with the information, and then whatever, and with my phone number and all that kind of stuff. If you send, anyway, it's easier if you put your phone number in there and I can text you instead of going through the email. I'm more savvy with the text messages and the email. So and I want to thank Sterling one more time for helping out. He gave me such a wonderful boost, and I want him to know how much I appreciate it. Also, I want to thank my friend Mark Rhodes, because he helped me. He sent me some questions for tonight, or helped me when I was walking last night. I was talking to him, and we were trying to come up with some questions. But the main question I get they just, especially people I've read for before for the last 3 years, they keep wanting me to read on Bedminster and what's buried there or not buried there or whatever. They just want to know what's going to happen there. So I'm going to pull some cards on Bedminster. But I know I probably said the same stuff before, but it's but you know, whether everybody, another thing they've been asking me that they didn't used to ask me is was her death an accident or whatever. I have no idea. I don't I don't even want to go there. But if it was a matter of convenience or whether planned or unplanned, it we'll probably never know. But I really don't think it was no accident that he decided that he was going to take over the responsibility for burying his ex-wife. Now, that's just a little bit out there. That's way out there, especially with 3 grown kids. And I don't feel like if any one of them loved her at all, that's where they would have wanted her buried at. And having her cremated with all the wealth they have, wouldn't she have went in a beautiful, well, not a crypt, but where it shows off the, you know, they put them in there and have a place where you can go pray, you know, and it's just like a mausoleum or something. They're just beautiful, some of those places they've got set up for it to keep ashes. So why was supposing there her ashes in that coffin that weighed so much, it took 10 people to carry it? Anyway, it doesn't make any sense. I doubt very much of her ashes myself, and I'll maybe it'll come out in the cards because I am going to pull some cards on this. I know it's probably been read on 1,000 times, but my thought is that her ashes aren't even in there. They're probably on Ivana's mantle or something, or somewhere in one of her houses or something where they keep keepsakes or something. But so everybody wants to know what's in there. What's in that box that and this is for entertainment only. YouTube. This is for entertainment only. But everybody keeps wanting to know what's in that box. And I've read on it a couple of times to see, I don't even remember because I don't pay much attention to my readings once I do them. I don't keep score on them. But anyway, I was thinking maybe we'll read on that and what else did I have written down here? Like I say, it doesn't take a psychic or a rocket scientist to figure it out that what in the hell are they doing with a coffin so heavy it takes 10 people to lift when you've been cremated. And now with all this other stuff coming out about Westminster, where you taking box loads of stuff down there. And what I'm thinking is maybe it's not only the documents. I'm thinking there's blackmail material in there. I mean, he's had Lindsey Graham and even McConnell kind of jumping through hoops. McConnell's not kissing his ass like some of them, but he's sure didn't convict him of either one of those when he was impeached, either one of those times. So I think it's full of blackmail material too. I think there's some kind of blackmail material in there. That's when I go into it, or when I'm in the shower. That's when I get my most whatever messages. It's usually used to be in the pool when I had my home, but it's in the shower now. It's just he's had them all jumping through hoops for the last 5 years. People that swore that he'd be the downfall of America, and then one golf game later or 6 weeks later, after he has a chance to talk to a couple of them, they think he's the best thing since apple pie and ice cream. I don't think so. And yeah, he's probably got blackmail material on half of Congress in there, not even on both sides. I wouldn't doubt if he don't have some stuff on that one with where's he from? West Virginia? That other Democrat guy that always votes with the Republicans and has the same, actually he is a Republican. Him and Kristen Sinema, but I can't think of his name right now. I don't know. If you'd asked me 5 minutes ago, I'd have known it. I knew it earlier when I was talking to somebody else about it, but once I start doing a reading or even get into this energy where it starts coming through it, my mind just goes. Yeah. So anyway, so we'll start with that and see where it goes. So so we're asking you, Spirit, please come through and help me. And I want to thank, I know I already thanked you, but I want to thank all my new subscribers. I'm just amazed. And I never knew what gobsmacked meant, but that's how kind of I felt after I got that recommendation from Sterling. So I just want to thank him one more time, and then I'm not going to do it again. Well, I may do it again sometime, but not on this video. But thank everybody who subscribed and all the wonderful text messages I've got. Now, let's go into this. And so we'll just ask a direct question and see if intrigue or innuendos come up, or we'll just ask what's in that coffin. And I don't know what I'd have to see in here to think it was actually a body, but let's see. I just got these cards wore out enough to finally shuffle like a real deck. And it's because my hands aren't as strong as they used to be because of being older and being a little bit arthritic. But they're not arthritic like they used to be. They were worse when I was 50 years old. They've gotten better the last 40 years. So I think it's from giving massage and Reiki. That's what I think, because I'm a massage therapist. And I do also do Reiki treatments. I'm a Reiki master, so I think that might have something to do with it, healing up. Like it's hard to put healing energy into other people and not heal yourself up, so I think God blessed me and our spirit, or whatever you want to call it, and healed me up. The loving energy that we all have going through us that makes the whole universe go around. I think when you try to transfer it onto other people, yeah, and heal them, it heals you, even if you're not asking for it. So, Ivana Trump, was she still a Trump, or was she remarried, I think. Anyway, Justice. I like that. I usually always look the last time I'm getting ready to shuffle to see what's coming out on the bottom. See what's going there. I had a really nice day today. The sun shined all day here in San Diego. It's been a lot of clouds because in June, they even have a name for June gloom. May, I think it's May gray because the sun hardly ever shines. And then June, it really it's overcast from the ocean every day. Well, it might end up putting him out in the cold before it's over. Might be the end of him, whatever's in that coffin. Look at this. I want to get those all out of there and all mixed up. So let's see. What's in there? What's in Ivana's? Yeah, this is in I think it's called Bedminster. I started to say Westminster, but it's Bedminster, I think is what it's called. Boy, look at this, I cut them again. After sticking it back in the deck. Well, we'll see. Okay, let's go. Aha. Look at this. whatever's in there, we're going to find out. Or somebody's going to find out. We may never find out what's in there, but it looks like they're coming after it. It looks like they're definitely going to look in it. Look at this. The King of Swords, right on top of it. So let's see. That's the signifier. And it's going to take a lot of power to do that, but it shouldn't take more than just asking to go search there or dig the grounds or do whatever they need to do. When you got somebody up for almost treason, remember, for entertainment only, and putting the country in danger, it shouldn't be hard to get whatever paperwork they need to find out, at least to look in there. And it's not even like there's a body in there. I mean, if there is a body, if there is any of her remains in there, it's cremated. So it's not like they're doing anything to whatever that should piss anybody off. Of course, the Republicans get upset about anything that's, if it's for them. If it was the other way around, they'd be screaming it just backwards. But yeah, so yeah, here's them getting the power to do it. The log going in there. And the answer is the star. So I do think there's something in there that's good for America to find out, whether they want us to or not. They may share what's in there, all of it almost, unless it's a lot of stuff from that, like maybe if it's zip drives from that he had from Epstein, because a lot of this blackmail material he's had all his life. He's gathered it and stored it different places, but I think when he knew the heat was getting hot, and that's why I felt, why is he wanting to bury her on a golf course? What's he putting in that coffin? What's he needing to hide? So I think it might be some blackmail material or something. And when they find it, I feel like this is my card for America. If it's some of that stuff might be so dark and on so much high people in high office that they don't even want anybody to know. But I'm not sure of nothing. Let's be honest. I feel like there might be something in there that would benefit America in this case. The energy around this is they try to block it. The influence on the president on when they decide to do this is they were, screaming and yelling and hollering that where nobody should even know about that. They just should go in there and investigate and be able to dig wherever they wanted to dig. But we'll see. So we've got the energy around that was it's not an easy thing to go in there and do. It sounds to me like if you got somebody arrested, supposedly, he's not really arrested, not like I would be or you would be if we were in this situation. But if we got somebody that's supposed to be arrested for that big a crime, and there might be something hid, it seems like you could go in there and do that. If you were the government, the law, or the attorney general, or worked for the attorney general. But we'll see. Well, we got the Four of Wands on top of this reading in the sky. So that may be the AG, which is this is a Democratic card. And this is the White House, usually. Sometimes the Congress. But it's, since we have a Democrat, and I don't care, I know they have nothing to do with that, but we do have a Democratic Attorney General, they should be able to get subpoenas for whatever they need to do on that property. And they do need to go in there and search because this is dangerous stuff that's out there. On some level, I know Jack Smith knows that, but it's about time that the rest of the country realize that. We got the smug merchant. This always used to be Donald Trump when you're reading for politics, that thinks he's got control over this. So if he even thinks they're going to do that or something, he'll have his lawyers all over it trying to stop it. But then in the seventh house, which is the house for this reading, we've got some people call him the Huda or whatever. This is the wise man. This is the wisest judge. This is the wisest person. So they would be in control of this, and that's what would be going on in this. So they might have a lot of people, lawyers, judges, whatever it takes to get those search warrants through, or whatever it is, if they go in there to look for that. And they have the power. Look at this. They definitely have the power to look for that if they choose to. I think maybe, or I feel maybe, that part of that is just they're almost afraid of what they'd find in there. And this is the biggest fear, is that there's some really dark stuff in there. Stuff hidden that they're not sure they want to bring out into the light. So that isn't a cremated body. I've seen cremation before, or whatever, seen the ashes, and that's not dark and deep. And I'm sure they're in an urn, and if I had to take bets on it, I'd bet 10,000 to 1 that there's no ashes in there at all, not even the urn. But that would be my feelings. But there is something in there that needs to be brought out in the light. And I think it might end up honoring a strong woman. I did not know the lady. I read a little bit of the book she wrote about Donald Trump. It almost made me want to throw up. I don't have much opinion about her, but for some reason, when I turned this over and seen this strength card, I feel once we make our transition, we really don't care what's going on behind us. But it would be like a way to honor her. I know that probably sounds totally silly, but I thought Ivana would be honored if whatever's going on there is brought. Okay, I'm going to go backward. Ivana would be honored if whatever's going on there would be brought to the surface. It's been blocked. But it looks like that they've got the power and enough judges or whoever sets this stuff up to get the subpoenas or whatever it takes to go in there, and there is somebody, and I think this is Jack Smith, that knows how to do this kind of stuff if he feels it's necessary. Donald Trump is going to try to block this with everything he can if he knows they're going there, or if his lawyers know they're going there. I don't think they have to tell him. I think they got the stuff. They can just go in and do it. And it would make all the Democrats happy. And there's probably stuff, if there's blackmail material in there, there's probably 28% of it is on Democrats too. It's not all Republicans. But I don't think it's any accident that they're still calling Republicans conservative people when there's nothing conservative about them. Most of them are a bunch of effing Nazis. So for entertainment only, YouTube. But that's what's going on there, and this is going to make the America feel like they're sharing more truth, even if they just go in there. And I don't think, maybe they don't have to tell them they don't have to show everything they find in there. But this is the power to do it, and this is the strength behind it. So it may not be tomorrow or the next day, but I'm not going to be surprised at all if I get up and hear over the news that they've gone in there with search warrants and whatever it takes. I don't know what the technical name is for a lot of that stuff, and they're snooping around, and that's one of the places they look. and I know they'll throw a fit. And they said he buried her there to save money on taxes or something because they can't take the property from him. Da 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 da. As long as he's got family buried there. Well, that sounds good. And I don't think on any level he's ever worried about losing any property because everything's always gone. He can steal enough money to pay for those golf courses, which never pay for themselves. Golf courses don't pay for themselves. They never have. So anyway, that's what's going on there. And let's see what Mark and I came up with last night. A lot of this stuff is just not Mark and I. A lot of this stuff is a lot of people just text me because I've talked to so many people over the last 3.5 years, and they ask me these questions or text me the questions. And the next one, Mark wanted to know this, though, is Trump's valet going to jail. His name's NAUTA, Walt NAUTA. So I don't think I've read any cards on Walt NAUTA, so let's see what I come up with. So I want to thank you guys for watching my videos, and I just want to thank everybody for being so kind to me this week. So let's see what's going on with Walt NAUTA. I feel really bad. I have a bad feeling what's going to go on with him. I hope he's not the only one that gets left holding the bag while Trump gets away, like he did with Cohen. And I'm a strange person anyway. I like Cohen. Not whatever. He's not my hero, but I admire him for going forward instead of backwards in life. And I get a kick out of listening to him. Sometimes we talk the same language. Maybe that's because of working at that bar all those years with all those sailors. But anyway, I get a kick out of listening to him on Midas Touch. And of course, I love Popak on Midas Touch. I think all the women love Popak on Midas Touch. He's the cutie. Sometimes I think I'm too old to appreciate that, but I don't. Maybe you never get too old, or maybe I'm blessed because I'm not too old to appreciate it. I guess I could look at it that way. So this is. I better quit talking about him, or it's gonna mess my cards up. Let's go to Walt NAUTA. Walt NAUTA, bless your little heart. Are you gonna get caught holding a bag here? I hope not. But I can't see any way that this poor guy's going to get out of anything. And you know damn well that Donald Trump would throw his own kids under the bus if that's what he has to do. So he's going to keep this guy really close. You're going to keep him close enough where he can control everything he does and everything he says. And maybe that was Jack's plan. Maybe that's why they didn't ask for any restrictions or anything. Who knows? And when he's getting indicted, he might get jail time. I'm sure they'll probably put a fine on him. If they don't, then it's kind of ridiculous, this whole thing anyway. But so I'm going to shuffle one more time. So Walt NAUTA. Walt NAUTA. Ooh. You're going to be out in the cold. This is a signifier. Bless his heart. Just a poor working little chief. I know Donald Trump makes him sound like he's a big-time military general, but he was a chief in the Navy. I knew a lot of Navy chiefs from having that bar a mile out of the Navy base there in El Centro all those years. And if anybody's listened to it, the name of that place was the Desert Club. It was called the DC. Everybody from the military called it the DC. Some people used to call it the Rafters because people in the military would jerk their clothes off and go up and carve their name in the rafters. With me trying to stop it for 20 years, But anyway, that's the story for another time. But anyway, so yeah, this is Walt NAUTA out in the cold. And this is the influence over this. Him moving those documents around and still in this, still in that. No telling what else he might have been working on. It might have been more in documents. Look at this. Bless his heart. I mean, I can picture this. I can picture, just being a little chief in the Navy, and all of a sudden you're working at the White House. I think he went in there to start with on security or something to do, was it the garage or cooking? And then you end up working your way into where you're the president's valet, and then you end up in this tub of crap. So yeah, poor God, I feel sorry for him. It looks like he may not be the only one in trouble. But this looks like this might be Lady Justice. This could just be the courts and everything coming after him. This is the foundation of this reading. The past influence on it is feeling like he was at the top of the world and had everything in his control. Really felt like nothing could happen to him because the ex-president was telling him to do this stuff and telling him it was okay, and he wasn't a lawyer and whatever. I really feel like the past influence over this is he felt like he was kind of untouchable too for the first time in his life. And he also felt like, well, if anything happens to me, there'll be plenty of money to pay my lawyer or whatever. Imagine Trump's paying his lawyers. That should be something wrong with that right away. I don't know how they do that. But anyway, maybe somebody will complain about it. But anyway, here's plenty of money to pay for some kind of defense. It looks like he might end up with a female judge too. I don't think they'll try him in the same courthouse. They may be the same courthouse, but not with the same judge. These trials aren't going to go off together just because he was on the subpoena. But here's some female judge that's presiding over his trial. There also might be a lot of money in that if they go digging around. I'll just put it this way: if they go digging around Bedminster, they might find a lot of money where ashes are supposed to be, because here's a large amount of money that I think he helped stick somewhere. It's right next to the thief card here. I don't think he stole it. I think he was helping move it around. And the energy around that is planting it. Look at this. So that's something else that might be in there. I know it can't. Some people say the coffin's full of gold. Well, if that coffin was full of gold, it would take a truck to lift it, not 10 men, because I know how heavy big amounts of that gold is, or especially silver. I had 17 bars of it once, but my dad gave me, and whatever. That's another story. But there's no way. It takes two hands and good muscles just to move one piece at a time around. They're the big bars. So anyway, I don't think that it's gold, but there might be a lot of money buried there. Look, this is buried money. I mean, there might be some precious metals. Who knows? All kinds of stuff. People that have that kind of wealth have gems and everything else. There also might be something incriminating on his kids, or maybe he's got paperwork on Jared in case he talks about him or something. There might, whatever is hidden in there as something that could intimidate his own children. But I think he's stuff that he's got where they start turning on him that he can. I don't know. I don't think this man has even got most ordinary human qualities. Let's put it that way. So anyway, we end this reading with the Ace of Cups. Ace of Cups. That's telling me that I'm on the right track. That when I get an ace in the immediate future or in the outcome, I always feel that that's spirit telling me you're closer than you think. Even if it sounds so far-fetched that I can't even believe it, I'm just telling one of my tells. It's telling me I'm close on this trail. So let's go back. This is for Walt NAUTA. He is out in the cold already. Bless his heart. He's a goner already. And it's because he was helping still and move stuff around. And maybe, he wasn't out robbing banks or something, but it was stuff that didn't belong to him. Those papers were, even those documents are like stolen stuff. So he was moving stolen stuff around. Maybe be some money in there too. Maybe moving some money around. We were saying that when we first started. Bless his heart, he thought he was really safe because the influence that he thought that he was protected because he was doing the ex-president's bidding. And he assumed he'd never be in trouble for it. There was also a lot of money maybe promised to him. Maybe to him whatever Trump was giving him was a lot of money. I can't imagine him giving anybody a lot of money. He never pays his help, but hopefully he was paying this guy something. But this could also be a lot of money that's in buried there somewhere. This is a female judge or a high up female attorney that's got information or maybe wanting to hold him in prison, in jail till the trial comes up. I don't think they'd ever do that. They just let him go back together to work there even. I mean, it's like you're the ex-president, so you can do anything, even no matter what you're in trouble for. You want to shoot somebody on the way to jail or on the way back to Mar-a-Lago? Anyway, but this is him, somebody coming after him, and this is Walt NAUTA. And it's about money, secrets, moving money around. I think there might even be something to do with the kids, and I'm sure it's awful funny that as far as I can remember, that's about the time that Ivanka stopped talking to Trump, right when her mom died. So I think she knows something about what's going on with that. And she may also know there's something in there on Jared, because I keep being told all the way through this reading that there's information on Jared somewhere. So anyway, and then I've got the Ace of Cups, which telling me that I'm a little hotter on here than I thought I was reading it. Not that I ever think I'm hot on it, but I'm never real surprised when what I say happens. The only thing for sure I remember saying over and over again when people thought I was crazy, even way, way back, was that he wasn't going to leave the White House without a fight, and they were going to have to drag him out of there, and that there was more going on when he started changing the people in the Pentagon and everything else, that there was there was a plan to do what they did. I remember saying that several times and having people write me and tell me that I was way out there. Anyway, let's hope that everybody's really nice and everything that comes out in the cards are just innuendo, but that's not usually how it works. So what else was it Mark wanted we came up with last night? Like I would know. He texts me, what's Jack Smith's master plan? This is a smart man. Way smart man. He's got just a smart man. I think Donald Trump is absolutely terrified of Jack Smith. And it comes out with all the stuff he says. He wouldn't have to blabber about it all the time if he wasn't like a little kid trying to be a bully. But so does Jack Smith have a plan? Of course he has a plan, and that seems like a strange question. How could I ask that? Because I wouldn't know his master plan, but I guess I could see if I know he plans on winning. And if it looks like he screwed up by taking that back to Florida and getting this stupid female judge, he's probably playing right. She'll probably play right into his hands. So I think there is maybe some kind of plan, but I don't have a clue what it is. Give her enough rope to hang herself, and then he can pull somebody in there that he has in mind already, or somebody else has in mind. So let's see. I'm just going to read on Jack Smith. I'm not going to go far enough to think I can dig up some plan he's got. But so I think I've read on him several times, but let's do it again. So this Jack Smith. How are you feeling right now about things? How are you feeling? What's going on with you? Are you feeling secure? I know you're probably exhausted, but you probably get high doing this kind of stuff too when you got such a beehole to go after. So, Jack Smith, what's going on with you? How are you feeling right now? And you feel like you got this all together? Let's see. Oh man, you got it covered. You got things spread it. Look at this. We got the 8 of Wands in the beginning. You got so much stuff you haven't even started yet. You've just thrown one of these wands, and yeah, you got so much stuff coming up that so you're actually feeling pretty good. You're not letting this stupid Aileen Cannon or whatever get you down. She might have been in the master plan I think from the beginning you had decided that if you drew her, you were going to eliminate her. So I don't know you got some kind of plan to eliminate her. Look at this. You're not walking away, so that's got to be her walking away. Because you've got the material to whatever. I think this ends up going to some other judges, some higher courts, like that first stuff she was trying to deal. Because look at this. I got the 5 of Swords there. I think she gives up and she's not going to recuse herself, but I think she has no choice. She ends up having to get out of there. So the past influence on the present is the Tower. So and this is the influence over Donald Trump, the bully. So his time has come, because it shows, even though we're reading on Jack Smith and what's going on with him, we've got the bully in the foundation, and the bully is Trump. And then the energy around this bully is the Tower. So his plan is to take him down. To definitely take him down. And even though he's not going to come riding in like the Knight of Wands or the Knight of Swords, he's methodical and just one step at a time. Just one step at a time, and methodical, with crossing all of his T's, dotting all of his I's, just methodical. This just says methodical. I can feel it going through my whole body. So he has a plan. Yeah, he has a plan. Look at this. This is the plan card. And this is in the immediate future. So we may be finding out a little bit about what his plan is quicker than we know. A lot of the people that I watch on TV, I think that the Midas touch and stuff, they think that they'll wait till there's a problem and then you're going to hear him contesting something she does. But I think they might start right out. I think in the next, well, this is only Saturday. I was going to say 72 hours, 48 hours. But I think within the next 72 hours or so, we're going to be hearing something to do with them trying to not block this judge, but she has no business being on there. Whatever they have to do to maybe some surprising angle to get her out of there, because he does have a plan. Look at this. And his plan's to be the conqueror, which I'm glad, but he's sure he's got this. So let's all take a deep breath, and like I said, it is what it is. We are where we are, and that's okay, because he definitely has a plan to take him down. He's sure he's got him. So he spent a lot of sleepless nights worrying about this, trying to figuring out his strategy totally. This is his hopes. This is his plan. I wouldn't want to be Donald Trump. Look at this. Yeah, and then for the outcome, we got sometimes this is a spy in the camp, and sometimes that's Michael wielding his sword of justice. So either way you look at it, if we got a spy in Trump's camp, or if it's just wielding a sword of justice, that's good. Because it looks like justice comes out of this. Here we go back to this is Jack Smith. We got him. Gosh. There may be some delays, but they got him. To bring this stuff out into the sunlight. Look at this. Look at this. It's a good place to end with the main arcana. Okay, so we're going to go back over and pull these, and this is on Jack Smith and what's going on with him. Let's start this right here. This is about Jack Smith and what's going on with him. So, Mark wouldn't know if he had a plan, and I said, how would I know that? Well, looks like he's got a bunch of plans, and this is a bunch of indictments. This is a bunch of different things coming towards Trump. And the obstacle, the influence over this is Trump going away. And here's the bully. This is Trump. And he's got the tower over him. And here comes Jack Smith, just totally methodical. No big hurry, even though he knows he's in a hurry to get everything forward, but he's not rattled. He's just methodical. Just like somebody with whatever. He's after this. They say like a dog with a bone or whatever. And I said I wouldn't have an idea what his plan was, but he does have a plan. And I think I felt when I turned this card over that he even had a plan for if he ended up with this kook for a judge. And his main plan is he's going to win this. Look at this. He's had a lot of time to think this over. And here, what he's going to do, this is Trump. This is the hopes. This is what his plan is. This is his hope. And maybe kind of fair, because it might cause a little disruption, but he's not really afraid. He's going to win. He's not worried about the politicking or the politics about it. Michael, with his sword of truth, came up to this is Jack Smith, the main guy, to give him strength. And The light will be shined on this, so we're going to find out. I mean, I hope, I know everybody's been waiting to find out something, and it looks like with the light shined on it that we're gonna find out what's been going on, or maybe not what's been going on, but I would say that that's a winning card to come out with the sunshine. So so that's it, folks, for that. And I stuck those back in there without pulling them all apart. I usually separate all the cards once I pull that many out. But let's see. So what else have we got here? We got this is interesting. The next question is this Susan Lorenz. Is Susan Lorenz going to get convicted and sent to jail for shooting that mother of 4? And I know that almost anybody that would be staying with me long enough to hear all this would know what I'm talking about, because we listen to real news. And it's where that lady just shot that lady through the door after she threw, wasn't the first time, but she'd been a very prejudiced older lady, damn near as old as I am, and been being mean to all the black kids in the neighborhood. And she had threw a skate at one, this woman had, I guess, 4 children, and she threw a skate at one of them and hit her on the leg that same day, and the mother went over to confront her again about it, and when she hammered on the door, she shot her. And the daughter was standing next to her. She could have just as... She should go to jail just for reckless endangerment, because the daughter was standing there if she hadn't even shot the mom. But anyway, he just wanted to know if she was going to jail, so I'm going to only pull 4 cards on that and see... see what's going on with that. And that's... her name was Susan? Is that what he said? Yeah, Susan... L-O-I-N-E-Z, Lozin, maybe it's Lozin, I don't know, I'm probably not pronouncing her name right, but you know who I'm talking about. Cops didn't even arrest her, not for 24 hours or more. But you better believe if that would have been a black lady doing the shooting and a white lady standing on the doorstep, they would have dragged her and her whole family off to jail. They'd have been in the hooscow in 2 seconds. So that's what, so is she going to get her comeuppance? Only 4 cards. Well, she's worrying about it. She's worrying about it. For some reason, it was just something she'd been dying to do for a long time. I know it's all the hate and stuff that's spewed out there by the right-wing media and the right-wing people. In the present, she's kind of worried. She has had justice come in. They did finally arrest her. If I'm not mistaken, she bailed out. And then I heard that they'd put up somebody started to GoFundMe, and there was over, like $1 million or something in there. But I heard that they gave all the money back and closed it down because that they did that. I can't believe it, but I'm proud of YouTube if they did that. I am proud of them. If that's true, I don't know if that's true for sure, so I just want to let people know. The challenge to that is the Wheel of Fortune. So that's like, there's so much propaganda out there against I guess I could say congeniality might be one word for it, but that's not the word I'm looking for. Inclusion. The Republicans have just gone on a non-inclusion. If you're not following the same Bible we're following and interpreting it the same way, then you're out of here. and they're just on that trampling through the universe of the United States, destroying our government. It was no accident that our forefathers wanted to separate church and state. That just blows me away, all the crap that they even and none of these news people even come back and ask the questions when these people are slinging this shit. I am so sick of corporate news. I can't even stand to watch it, and I watch a little bit of R.M. Elber, and that is it, and a little bit of Lawrence O'Donnell, but not the whole shows on either one of them, because at least they ask some of the hard questions, but nobody else does. Nobody on none of them ask too hard questions, but because they don't want to. They're corporate news. They're working for corporations, and they make a lot of money by causing all this crap. If they compared fascism to, they stand there all the time and keep saying conservative Republicans. There's nothing conservative about the Republicans. Every time they get into any power, they double our debt or triple it. They never, whatever, when they've had the control, they've never left with unless. It's always 50 times more. Last time our budget was balanced was when the Clintons were in there, and Biden's brought it way down. And believe me, I don't think Biden can walk on water. He's lucky. He's my age. He's lucky we're still walking. But at least I think we are very lucky because of the war in Ukraine that he was in there to bring the United Nations together and stuff. I think that his experience might have saved us from World War III, knock on wood. But anyway, let's get back on here. We're back to talking about this girl. Anyway, her world, as she knows it, has changed. This is the challenge. But she already knows that, because I don't even think she thought she'd spend 2 seconds in jail, and they did take her to jail. I don't know if they've still got her there, or if she bailed out, or if they've got her locked up till after this. But it looks like, her goose is cooked. Look at this. This is her future. Couldn't be happened to a nicer person. I heard her make a couple of comments, and they were really bigoted, even after she was in all this trouble. So look at this. So Mark, she's going to definitely end up paying for this. She may never get out of jail, not this lifetime. I feel sorry for the rest of the people in jail around her. I mean, I know that there's a lot of bad people in there, I guess, but I always feel that half of them are in there, especially the women, just because they didn't have enough money, or I don't know, something to do with drugs at the time. So let's see what else is on here. Gosh, it's been almost an hour, but anyway, I'm going to cut some of this out because some of it I was meandering along. Oh, another thing, Mark wanted to know was, is the IRS ever going to investigate Trump? We'll ask that. But I did want to mention something before I forget it. As I guess, and it sounded to me like I don't, unless I write this stuff down, the facts go in one side and out the other, or what I hear. But I heard this on TYT, and most of the things they say, you can take it to the bank, and if you can't, if they make a mistake, they'll come back and tell you 5 times the next show and apologize for it if they get some wrong information out there. But I guess DeSantis, and I guess there was a lot of the people that go in and motivate Congress to vote their way, the one, I can't think what, I know what they're called. I hate it when my head goes like that. But anyway, there was a lot of money spent on Congress and local, but this is the state of Florida, and what they've done and DeSantis signed it in yesterday, from what I understand, was pass a law where you can't buy a car unless you go to a dealer. Like you can't buy one online like you can in most of the other states, or you can't buy one from that Corvana or whatever and have it delivered. That it's against the law in Florida to buy a car anywhere but from a dealer. So that, extra price on it because the dealer gets their cut out of that. Except, listen to this one. If you're Elon Musk, you can get a Tesla without going through a dealership. I don't know if it's because he don't have his own dealerships or because that's the way he's always done it or how they got around that. But that was on the bill. So that was interesting. Just another food for thought. Oh, the IRS. And he's asked me this several times, and I'm always telling y'all I'll read on it, and then I forget to. So is the IRS still coming after Trump? Or I know that it's not, that our people can't sick somebody on somebody like that, but they know that they were screwing with his taxes the whole time he was in office, so it's not like they don't have a reason to check his taxes out. So is the IRS investigating Trump? Let's ask it that way. Is the IRS investigating Trump? They're so worried. The Democrats are so worried that something's going to look political that they just sit around with their thumb up their butt and let the Republicans go out there and spew lies from morning to night. I'd say, I don't want to hear it. Hell yes, it's political. The asshole was blocking having his taxes checked and gone through like he was supposed to the whole time he was in office, and now we're going to see why and see if we can get to the bottom of it. That's all they got to say. And those people would shut up. But instead of they just hem-haw around, no, we wouldn't do that. Anyway, I'm sorry, but I've been a Democrat all my life, and believe me, I'd vote for Lassie if he ran under a Democratic ticket against any of them. But it's just it's just ridiculous. So, okay, are the Democrats going to check out Trump's taxes? Let's look at this real quick. Remember, my email is lynntarotreadings@gmail.com, and if you write me for a reading, put your phone number in there. Okay, are they going to check out Trump's taxes? One more shuffle. Well, in the past, they didn't. They thought he ran everything. But that could be definitely, looks like the government coming in too. In the present, it looks like there's some kind of investigation going on. Look at this. They're definitely looking into it. Let's hope they're looking deep in it instead of just... This is somebody with a lot of scrutiny going through it. This is usually judge or maybe all the head honchos at the Internal Revenue Service. Somebody's going through this. And this is a slow-moving night, so they're taking their sweet time. Definitely taking their sweet time. We know that. I mean, if they didn't go after anything else, that could have been the first thing they went after he got in office. They could have, as soon as he left office, they should have started that right away first, I think, because that was a no-brainer too. You knew that if they go in and check that they got him for tax evasion. So this is slow and steady investigation, so they're still investigating it, whatever. That's kind of like Jack Smith. He's not in charge of that. But we got the bully walking away. So Trump is always the bully. What's he walking away from? Jail? No. They're lowering the boom on him. So it looks like... Ace of Wands here. It looks like, yes, that they are checking this, and we know if they check it that he's toast. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, they check him. He's toast. Here's all the secrets and stuff coming out, and here's the America winning. So yeah, I think they are checking his taxes. I think they're taking their sweet time, but maybe it's going to take. First of all, they may need to get all this stuff straightened out of that on his business stuff on that one lawsuit that's going through New York, because probably a lot of things that they need to know might come out in that lawsuit. I was thinking that they might get in, that might be included in that lawsuit even. It might have come out in there some way. But anyway, who knows? I sure don't know. I just know that I love doing cards for you people, and I really love doing personal readings. So if you're interested, and I'm so sorry if you already emailed me, and if you haven't heard from me, because I got back with a lot of people, but I missed a whole lot too, and that's what I was going to do all day was get back with people today, but whatever. I hit the wrong button last night. So that's what I did. So I want to thank everybody that's still here, and bless you, and thank you for all your help this week, and just I feel so blessed, and bless you. Namaste.